Tonight, on Secrets Revealed, we'll reveal the secret of sawing a woman in half. Magicians refuse to tell us how they perform this amazing illusion, but we found one who will.
People in the magical arts would very much like to take a shot at me for doing this.
And
people watch women in pageants and they wonder, gosh, how do they get that voluptuous look in their chest area?
what does it really take to win beauty contests? In an exclusive interview, the surprising secrets of Miss USA 1994 and the battle secrets of pro football's most fearsome warriors.
I'm just like a mafia hitman. I'm paid to hurt your people.
We'll reveal the secrets of making TV food look good enough to eat.
It's actually a combination of Crisco and powdered sugar and Karo syrup.
And the super secret ending to Terminator 2, the ending that you were never meant to see. Can you keep a secret? Well, we can. For the next hour, we're going to reveal some of the world's most closely guarded secrets. Secrets that some people have tried to stop us from telling you. Like the secret of sawing a woman in half. Generations of magicians have carefully guarded this classic illusion. But now, for the first time ever on network television, that secret is about to be revealed. Since ancient times, the mysteries of magic have been among the most closely guarded secrets in the world. Whether performing simple card tricks or a seemingly impossible feat like sawing a woman in half, all magicians have one thing in common. They are sworn never to reveal the secrets of their sometimes dangerous profession. This is Chris Angel, a young magician on the cutting edge of magic's new wave. His magic act combines elaborate illusions with the energy and excitement of a rock concert. Chris to reveal the secret of his trick, but he absolutely refused.
Obviously, I'm not going to tell you how I do any of my illusions. There's definitely a code that, we can't go around sharing how these illusions worked.
Next up on our quest, Hollywood's Magic Castle, a mecca for magicians. Would someone here reveal the secret? They told us to disappear, and so did the 8,000 members of the International Brotherhood of Magicians.
I can tell you exactly how to saw a lady in half. I won't, but I can.
Harry Blackstone is the son of one of the most famous illusionists of all time. He carries on the legacy of his famous father as a keeper of the many secret traditions of magic.
Maintaining that secrecy is really an important part of the discipline of the magician. And we have what's called the Ethics Committee of both the International Brotherhood of Magicians and the Society of American Magicians. And in the society, we have written down a list of those things which are expected of the performing magical entertainer. And those things which they are expected not to do include divulging the secrets to those who are to be the audience.
Ultimately, we had to leave the country to find our answer. Meet Mr. X. He and his assistant have agreed to reveal the secret of this classic illusion, but only after we promise to alter his voice and keep his identity and location a secret.
The classic sawing in half illusion begins when the two performers enter the stage. Usually a female is the one who is cut in half. As she steps into the box, she appears to slide herself all the way in. In fact, she remains in the top portion of the box. Her left foot slides out a drawer to which is attached a set of fake legs. It appears as if she's fully stretched out in a very thin box.
Up close, the legs and feet may look fake, but from the audience's viewpoint, they appear real. This illusion is pulled off by an offstage accomplice who sends radio signals to small motors which move the feet.
Stocks are placed over her feet and over her head. Some kind of instrument of torture or vivisection is applied to her midsection. A sword, a chainsaw, any kind of cutting utensil you like. Ginsu steak knives are very popular this year. 2 blades are placed on either side of her midsection, proving that the person is in fact cut in half.
To the audience, this box seems too small to hold the assistant. But this is just another illusion. Our exclusive back view reveals that the table is hollow, allowing her to sink down an extra 4 inches.
Now there are doors on the feet and on the arms, which can be opened to indicate beyond a shadow of a doubt that there is in fact a person in there.
While the extended arm is real, the leg is actually from a department store mannequin. On stage, Chris Angel blends all of these deceptions into one stunning illusion. When the doors are closed and both halves of the table are put back together, they're locked in place and the lid is open. As the assistant steps out, she withdraws the drawer with the phony legs, making it appear that the fake feet were really her own.
I'm in this guise because I'm sure a lot of people in the magical arts would very much like to take a shot at me for doing this.
In fact, one several years ago divulged one of the secrets in a blindfold, not a blindfold, but a mask rather, on his face in order to hide his identity. We, of course, knew who it was, and that magician or his widow now are suffering the results of it.
Reach into your pocket and pull out a $20 bill. You'll be surprised to find it's full of secret information placed there to foil counterfeiters. There are $240 billion now in circulation, and the Treasury Department estimates that 14 million of them are phony. Originally, forgers had to be highly skilled engravers to create counterfeit currency. Then came a new generation of color copiers, and suddenly it seemed anyone could make fast money. So the government struck back with secret ways to make our currency tougher to duplicate. How many times does the phrase, "the United States of America," appear on a $20 bill? Most people take a quick look and say 2, but the correct answer is 14. Check out the fine print around Andrew Jackson's portrait. The phrase, "the United States of America," appears 12 more times here. This microprint is virtually impossible to duplicate. Here's another secret that makes fakes easy to spot. Take that $20 bill and hold it up to the light. You'll find that a 1/16 inch polyester strip, which reads USA 20, has been woven into the paper. This secret security measure will not show up on a photocopy. Want to make some money with money? Bet a friend $5 that the words New Jersey are printed somewhere on a $5 bill. Look closely. Magnification reveals 26 state names hidden in the top of the Lincoln Memorial. So now you know the secret ways to spot counterfeit money. Now, does anybody have change for a $100,000 bill? Stick around for beauty pageant secrets that can transform a woman into a perfect 10.
This is the newest thing out that I love, and they're almost silicone gel.
Plus, we'll reveal the secret faces behind your favorite cartoon characters. They're crazy, they're lovable, in fact,
They're great.
and we'll reveal Donald Trump's billion-dollar secret. There's nothing wrong with a little creative counting.
Let me go a little further. You know, there's nothing wrong with being rich.
This car is 18 feet long, weighs over 2 tons, has dual airbags, anti-lock brakes, and a sophisticated impact management system. The new Neon also has dual airbags, available anti-lock brakes, and a sophisticated impact management system. The rich, it would appear, do not have it all. Say hello to Neon. $89.75 for starters, $12.5 nicely loaded.
I pretend that I work out all the time and eat all the right things, but I don't. But one thing I really do is I use Equal instead of sugar.
Equal, with the great taste of NutraSweet.
With ordinary cat litter, odor can linger, but Scoop Away controls odor better and lasts up to 3 times longer. It absorbs liquid waste into solid clumps. Remove them, and you remove the source of the odor. No need to change your litter box. Just change your litter brand to Scoop Away.
Thursday on Matlock.
Nice dance.
A pair of seductive sirens turn up the heat.
I didn't try to rape her.
When a wave of murders hit the beach.
The two of you were setting him up.
We didn't set him up.
A special 2-hour Matlock movie, The Fatal Seduction, Thursday.
There are secrets to winning beauty contests, and some contestants will do virtually anything to win that coveted crown.
It's Lou Parker from South Carolina, the new Miss USA!
It takes beauty to win the crown of Miss USA, but also brains. Sometimes that means coming up with outrageous beauty secrets that TV viewers never suspect. When a beautiful woman is competing against a room full of equally beautiful women, any secret advantage is important. What are the secrets to winning the Miss USA title? To find out, we asked several of the leading contestants.
I'm Andrea Moore, Miss Georgia USA 1994.
I'm Lynn Jenkins, Miss North Carolina USA, 1994.
My name is Lou Parker. I'm Miss South Carolina USA, 1994.
Lou Parker, newly crowned Miss USA, and her beautiful competition know what it takes to win. In our exclusive interview, they told all.
Oftentimes people watch women in pageants and they wonder, gosh, how do they get that voluptuous look in their chest area? And certainly all of us are shaped very different, and in lieu of having a boob enhancement or just some type of breast surgery, there is an option.
You can enhance your chest line by using medical tape or duct tape. You bring the tape from the left hand or right hand side of your chest and bring it around firmly, lifting the chest, giving you a nice contour in the middle of your chest.
But this is the newest thing out that I love, and they're almost silicone gel. Gosh, what do we call them? I just call them shelves, and they're just shelves for your chest to sit on.
But one of my secrets for competition is to use a vegetable oil and a wrap to reduce water gain on the inner and outer thigh. What you do is you take the oil, surround it on your leg from knee to hip, and then take the wrap, wrapping it around your leg 5 to 6 times, and then putting a biker short or a warm-up suit over it and exercising. And what this does is it reduces the water weight on the outer and the inner thigh, allowing you to have a tighter, more slim thigh for competition. I take a spoon, wet it in the sink, put it in the freezer for 5 or 10 minutes, and then take the back of the spoon, press it in the eye socket, and hold it for approximately 2 to 3 minutes, and it reduces the blood vessels in the eye area, giving you a little bit softer look as opposed to a deep puffiness sometimes when you stay up a little bit too late.
Having a little bit of dirt and oil, or even products like mousses and gels, things like that, give your hair a lot more texture and a lot more body. Hair that's really too clean tends to be a little flyaway and just doesn't have a lot of movement in it, just doesn't have the thickness and the texture that your hair does if it's a little bit dirty.
The swimsuit competition is always the most revealing part of any pageant. Even the tiniest flaw can be magnified on television.
We all have little drawbacks on our bodies, and on a stage it's quite different from running down the beach in your 2-piece bikini and just letting it all hang out. Everything has to stay where it belongs and it has to be positioned so that nothing moves.
So we use a spray adhesive. We spray it on our rear and pull the swimsuit down, and then you can walk comfortably on stage and just think about your confidence and not your swimsuit.
All the beauty secrets in the world can't help if you don't have the poise, the confidence, and the inner beauty of these women.
For everyday life, I would suggest that everyone go for a natural look. Work to have a great outlook on life, work to be healthy, work to be physically fit, and those are the best beauty tips I could give anyone.
When we watch cartoons on television, the characters seem almost real to us. That's because behind every cartoon character, there's a human voice. But who are the actors supplying these voices? Some people don't want you to know, but that didn't stop us from finding out. Meet the voices behind Ren and Stimpy,
I've seen cartoons like this before.
Bart Simpson
Don't have a cow, Dad.
and Tony the Tiger.
They're great.
We asked some cartoon fans to describe the actor they think is the voice of Tony.
Man, deep voice.
He's probably pretty tall.
He doesn't sound like he's really old.
They're great.
Meet the voice of Tony the Tiger, 80-year-old Thurl Ravenscroft.
Well, Tony miraculously has not aged at all. But unfortunately, I have, after 41 years.
They're great.
Thurl doesn't make public appearances as the voice of Tony, but that doesn't stop his adoring fans from recognizing his voice.
A lot of times, if I happen to be talking around a bunch of kids that do not know, they will say, where have I heard your voice before? And then all I have to do is just begin to be like Tony, and immediately they know, and the first thing they say is, do it, do great, do great. They're great.
Do it again.
I've laughingly said ever since that I've made a whole career out of one word, and I'm the only man in Hollywood that can say that.
Today I am a god.
You know who does the voice of Bart Simpson?
I'm blue. Time for some of my patented spitting off the overpass.
America's most popular underachieving boy is played by a superachieving woman, mother of two, Nancy Cartwright.
I went in to read for the voice of Lisa, and I couldn't get a hook on her. So I was sitting in the waiting room, and I picked up the picture of Bart, and I said, the kid, I want to do the kid. So I went in, and I said, I can't do this, Lisa, but I got the boy. Let me do the boy. They said, what does he sound like? I'm like,
no way, man.
And I was hired on the spot.
Although Nancy invented Bart's voice, her contract specifically prohibits her from doing TV and radio interviews in character as Bart.
People ask me to do the voice all the time, but there's legal restrictions. I can't just go and throw his voice around whenever I want. I don't own it.
Oh, man.
There are parts of me that were very Bart-like. I got suspended when I was in, what grade was that? 7th grade. I wrote something pretty nasty in permanent ink in the bathroom on the wall, and I can't believe it. The principal got called down.
Jeez.
He says, so, I understand you like magic markers. And I was like, oh, yeah, I like... And then it hit me. Oop, busted.
Busted.
Hey, Ren, look what I just bought. I suppose you bought another stupid subscription.
In just 2 years, the outrageous adventures of Ren and Stimpy have gained a loyal following. But do you know the secret behind their very different voices?
It's the last word in domestic technology. Must save the brain!
Meet Billy West, the voice of both Ren and Stimpy.
You've got big brain dead Stimpy with his tongue hanging out.
And then you've got Ren, you know, the classic comedy jerk like a Ralph Cramden.
What are you talking about, you idiot?
Stimpy is based on Larry from the Three Stooges.
Let me extol the virtues of this wondrous time-saving device.
Ren is the strangest amalgam of characters in the world, of, you know, showbiz people. Peter Lorre.
I'm wasting away from lack of food.
He's a Chihuahua, so there's a touch of south of the border in him.
What is that delicious aroma?
Kirk Douglas is rumbling beneath the surface of him because he's so emphatic and broad.
Let's see. Am I going to have to kill you?
Psychotic Burl Ives stuff, you know.
I guess we'll never know, because you're going to guard it.
Must save the brain!
It's very cathartic because there's a lot of screaming and yelling. And these guys will be sitting in the booth, you know, and I'll hear, you're 95% there. When I finish recording Ren and Stimpy, I'm so totally exhausted that I must go back to my hotel room in Hollywood and get into a nice tub of hot water and submerge myself.
After this, the secret household product that some football players use to slip past the rules.
It still looks the same as the rest of the jersey, but you can't grab this part.
Plus, how do you make TV food look so delicious? If you think you know the secret, think again. And this is the ending of Terminator 2 that millions saw, but wait till we show you the ending almost no one saw till now.
Do you really love your hair color? I mean, really? Just wait till you try New Preference. Believe me, I use it. It has conditioning so caring, it's called Care Supreme. It makes color even better, richer, more glowing, with softness and glorious shine you'll fall for. Well, who wouldn't love a change for the better? After all, we're worth it.
New Preference by L'Oreal. Better conditioning for better color.
At Geo, we've thought a lot about safety. That's why Geo Prism comes with standard dual airbags and available anti-lock brakes. In addition, it's equipped with a rugged steel safety cage. You see, we not only want to make accidents easier to avoid, we also want to make them easier to walk away from.
Call 1-800-GET-TO-KNOW and get to know Geo Prism with over 100 standard safety features.
Thanks for seeing me during lunch, Mr. Ross.
No problem. I'll make a couple copies and we can get started.
Fresh, hot McDonald's fries. They're so tempting. What you want is what you get.
Okay, so.
At McDonald's today.
Mr. Barnes, tell me about yourself.
Excuse me, think all bathroom tissues are the same?
Excuse what? What was the question? You're not for real, are you? They're all the same. Tissue is tissue.
You obviously haven't tried Charmin Ultra.
Okay, it's a little softer.
It's really like cushier.
In fact, it's maybe a lot softer.
It's fatter.
Charmin Ultra is so much thicker, it would take 75 more sheets of the next leading national brand to be just as thick.
So we were wrong. This is great. This is good stuff.
We like it.
Softer, thicker. Charmin Ultra.
Can we keep this?
Look for Charmin Ultra in the new blue package.
Saturday.
Just one more thing.
Winning the lottery could cost you plenty.
It was murder.
Who's he supposed to be?
You're certainly unique.
Lieutenant Columbo, I'm with the LAPD.
Rip Torn joins Peter Falk in Columbo. Death hits the jackpot. Then on an all-new commish.
Do I actually have to kill a hostage before you realize I'm not a fool?
Tony takes on the feds when Rachel's life's at stake.
This is a federal case. He's got my wife, and that makes this my jurisdiction.
The commish after Columbo Saturday.
In the high-stakes world of professional football, winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. And when there's big money on the line, some players will secretly do whatever it takes to win. Pro football is big business, generating nearly $5 billion a year. The more a team wins, the bigger its piece of the pie, and the more million-dollar salaries it can shell out to players. Because winning is so important, some of these high-paid players will look for any advantage they can get, legal or not. As you're about to discover, even the all-time greats have stretched the rules. In this game, everything goes as long as you don't get caught.
I don't like to call them dirty tricks, although in some circles they're called that.
Deacon Jones, number 75 of the LA Rams, one of the greatest defensive players of all time, nicknamed the Secretary of Defense. What was this Hall of Famer's secret? It began with the proper frame of mind.
I'm just like a mafia hitman. I'm paid to hurt your people. And that's the way my approach was to the game.
The most infamous weapon in Deacon's arsenal was the head slap, a sharp blow to the head that could stun an offensive lineman. After a thumb injury, Deacon used his cast to make the head slap even more devastating. Deacon had two casts, one for the referee to check and another much harder version which he put on after warm-ups.
Since I had to wear it, I might as well use it to levy some pain on the opposition's head. It's like gauze, and gauze that hardens. So as you wrap it, if I wanted to put a piece of metal in here, I could do that. See, I would have worn the cast for the rest of my career if they hadn't stopped me.
One of the most dangerous spots on the field is in the pile-up. Lots of dirty tricks take place there, hidden from the referee's view. Deacon told us about a secret substance used to temporarily blind an opponent. Similar to Bengay, it's an ointment normally used to soothe strained muscles.
If you're inside the pile-up, you could very easily get your hands between the mass, and you just rub some of that stuff anywhere around the eyes, because eventually it'll get in your eye. You don't have to rub it right into the eye. Just rub it all up here. The sweat will bring it into the eye, you know, or the guy will rub it in there himself.
If you get him first or I get him first, stand him up. Yeah, he'll drop the ball, baby.
One secret can inspire another, so Deacon is now sharing his tricks with a new generation of players like his friend Anthony Smith, who recently signed a $7 million contract with the LA Raiders.
These things are passed on generation after generation because, you know, somebody passed it on to us. We didn't invent it. You know, Anthony, some of the things that we do in the line are sometimes referred to as dirty tricks, but I call it progressive information. You know, and I'm sure that as you grow old in this business, that you will acquire all the progressive information that's out there and learn how to efficiently apply it.
We asked Smith, number 94, if Deacon's progressive information was part of today's game.
Oh, yes, it's going on. Illegal maneuvers, tactics will always go on. And when you're out there playing with the magnitude of competition that you have out there, I mean, players are quick as gazelles, players as strong as bulls. You have to have certain edges.
Anthony revealed one of these edges that can make the difference between winning and losing.
What I have here is PAM no-stick cooking oil. This is a really awesome thing here. It can be really used to void off would-be tacklers. And this is corn oil, and corn oil doesn't have any smell. So you would take something like this, and you would spray something like this on. It still looks the same as the rest of the jersey, but you can't grab this part. It's very slick. So this stuff works in and out of the kitchen. It has a lot more uses than just working on pans.
Another secret weapon is available at any hardware store, double-sided tape. Players use it to stick their uniforms to their shoulder pads.
And what that does is that when you slide your jersey over, your jersey sticks so that no one can hold you.
One secret that has stood the test of time is the psych out. Nasty comments about a player's wife or girlfriend can undermine anyone's concentration.
That makes him angrier than anything that I've ever used in my life, to casually mention something about his old lady when he ain't sure about it. He'll either jump off sides or he'll commit a holding on you every time.
Secret tricks have helped make big stars out of players like Anthony Smith and Deacon Jones. You won't find these secrets in the NFL rule book, unless you read between the lines.
The better you are at it, the more productive you are. See, the more you end up on television if you're violent. If you're a nice guy, don't nobody interview nice guys, do they?
Donald Trump is rich, famous, and secretive. We discovered that this enterprising entrepreneur has a great big secret. A secret hidden in this building. Trump Tower. In 1982, Donald Trump proudly announced the completion of his world-class 68-story skyscraper, Trump Tower.
Many of these very wealthy people have chosen Trump Tower, and I think it's a very important step for New York. I think it's a vital step for New York.
Let me go a little further. You know, there's nothing wrong with being rich.
And when he built it, the rich people came to occupy the top floors of very expensive condos. Soon, guidebooks and postcards appeared all over the city, proclaiming the building's 68 glorious floors. But wait a minute. This architect's drawing reveals just 58 floors. What happened to the missing 10 floors? Have people been fooled? You be the judge. The first 5 levels are exclusive shops. Then there are 14 floors of offices. There's 1 floor of mechanical equipment. Add it all up, that takes you up to the 20th floor. But it's labeled the 30th floor.
It's a very interesting building because it was marketed as a 68-story building, but it's only 58 stories.
This man should know. He's Trump Tower's supervising architect, John Barry.
Donald Trump was always uncomfortable with the phrase 58. And he came to us one day in a project meeting and said that he had found a way to market the building in a more positive fashion by calling it a 68-story building.
How did the legendary real estate promoter arrive at this trumped-up figure? The first 20 floors are high-ceiling offices. But if they had been low-ceiling apartments instead, Donald could have fit 30 floors into the same space. That would give you Trump's grand total of 68 floors.
Oh, there's no doubt that the higher up you go in a residential building, almost anywhere in the world, the higher the price you will pay either to rent or buy.
And so the prices went 10 stories higher, too. Now you know the secret of Trump Tower. Everything Donald did is perfectly legal. Just don't tell the lady who paid nearly $10 million for a view like this.
8 years ago, I must say I was embarrassed to say I was in the real estate business in New York. Today, I can honestly say I'm proud of it.
Stay tuned. Coming up, we'll reveal the secret ending to one of Hollywood's biggest blockbusters. We'll also reveal the ancient secret of walking through fire. Plus, we'll uncover the secret that's tearing apart one of Bedrock's best-loved families.
Wilma, what am I going to do? I don't know.
And stop clowning around trying to win those carnival games. We'll reveal the secrets that'll help you walk home a winner. But next, we'll go deep inside a Hollywood film vault to reveal a secret movie ending that'll blow you away.
When you're using lots of tissues, are they soft enough?
No, never.
Really blowing a lot. That's why you get a raw nose. It's really sore right around the edge.
That's why there's Ultra Soft Puffs.
Wow, it's really soft.
Very velvety.
You see, puffs are puffed for softness that really adds up. Softness that 4 out of 5 people prefer.
Nobody uses one tissue. I could go like this, and I didn't have any rawness.
Puffs does not offend your nose.
I'm going to change to Puffs.
Ultra Soft Puffs, softest on your nose through all the blows.
This morning my nose said thank you.
I'm a big kid, look what I can do. I can wear big kid pants too.
Only Pull-Ups training pants have stretchy sides, like real underpants, for the snuggest, trimmest big kid fit.
And I can pull them off and on.
For protection and fit, there's nothing like Pull-Ups.
Mommy, wow! I'm a big kid now.
Every Neon comes with an advanced single overhead cam 16-valve engine. And its 132 high-tech horses should come in mighty handy when you're trying to coax your car onto a freeway. Say hello to Neon. $89.75 for starters, $12.5 nicely loaded.
Sunday, the passion returns.
You used me, Charles Maine.
With the unforgettable cast that made North and South one of the most popular miniseries of all time.
It's time I went home, Madeline.
No, it isn't.
The world premiere of John Jake's Heaven and Hell, beginning Sunday.
Secrets Revealed will continue in a moment.
Frightening new statistics show that teen drug use is on the rise again.
We'll show you what to watch out for, like the new drug of choice that's probably in your house already.
Schools where binge drinking is the hottest sport.
It's Jell-O with alcohol in it, and you suck it right out of the cup.
And dangerous steroids that can make good looks deadly.
2020, Friday.
Is it true right before you die, your life passes before your eyes?
That's what they say, mate.
Well, mine's passing now. I see a beer, a bloomin' onion, a big juicy steak, and my sweetheart.
Sweetheart, you're not dying, you're dreaming.
For the meal of your life, get to Outback Steakhouse.
This is an Eyewitness News Brief.
Hello, I'm Marla Weech.
I'm Bob Opsahl. Coming up tonight, a bizarre twist in a shocking Central Florida murder case. We'll clue you in at 11 o'clock.
Also tonight, you know all those organizations that ask you for money? Do you think they give that money to charities, or do you think they spend it on themselves? An eye-opening report tonight.
And this was easily the most watched ladies skating event in the history of the Olympics. Tonight at 11, we'll have all the results from Lillehammer and reaction to tonight's Tonya Nancy show.
Join us on Channel 9.
Don't burn up money when a divorce or bankruptcy is only $68 at Mantle & Associates. Call 422-8000. That's 422-8000.
What really happens to the money you donate? Tonight at 11 p.m.
Welcome back to Secrets Revealed. You may not know it, but many movies have secret endings hidden away in film vaults like this. One is the blockbuster film Terminator 2. It has a secret ending that's never been revealed on network television. Until now. Terminator 2 thrilled audiences worldwide, grossing more than $490 million. In the film, the Terminator returns from the future to protect a young boy who is destined to save the world from a nuclear holocaust. To Hollywood executives, the film's success is no secret. What is a secret is that there were two different endings shot for the movie, a common practice in Hollywood today. Before we see T2's unseen ending, we'll travel to San Francisco to see how movie studios use focus groups to test and select the perfect Hollywood ending. Candidates for focus groups are selected by street corner recruiters looking for just the right type of moviegoer to see the film.
We're just looking for people to take part in future screenings.
Okay.
And you fit our demographics perfectly.
After being greeted, fed, and pampered, participants are ushered into a screening room to view the film, while market researchers view the participants' reactions through a two-way mirror. Then, after the screening, the viewers' opinions are analyzed.
The first ending lets you breathe and imagine.
And I think that leaves the door open, you know, like that's not really the ending.
But there's still that many more opportunities.
This secret information is then used by the studio to determine if changes need to be made in the film. In most cases, the studio will make these changes without the director's approval, unless that filmmaker is one of the privileged few who have the last word on the final cut. One such filmmaker is writer-director James Cameron. After his success with such films as Aliens, the original Terminator, and The Abyss, Cameron was given final cut on Terminator 2.
Well, final cut, it really doesn't change anything. You still have to do what's best for the film, and a lot of people have opinions about what's best for the film, and as a responsible filmmaker, you have to listen to them. In the opening of the film, we see a playground after a nuclear war where all the playground equipment has been burned and blackened, and then the ending was to show the alternate future that came about as a result of the efforts of Sarah and John. And when we put the movie together and sat and watched it, it just felt a little too sweet. It's essentially the movie of the script, but no movie is ever the movie of the script. The script is what you start with when you start the voyage, and when you end the voyage, you may be somewhere else. So we took that ending off and we went to the dark road, kind of going into darkness, the uncertain future, and that seemed to work better.
Certainly, it was a braver choice than I expected.
We did screen it once with the happier ending because we had already raised the question to ourselves, is this really the right thing? And the audience seemed to concur. So we all looked at each other and went, aha, see? Huh? So we very quickly whipped together the alternate, which I had already had in mind. Sometimes in that pressure cooker of finishing the picture, the most instinctive responses are the best, and that's really what happened there. It was just instinct.
In the climax of both versions of the film, the Terminator sacrifices his life. And now, for the first time on network television, we present the secret ending of Terminator 2 in the director's preferred widescreen format. The unseen footage begins after Sarah, played by Linda Hamilton, reacts to the Terminator's demise. It's the last we see of her as a young woman. The unseen footage begins as a blast of light propels us 30 years into the future.
August 29th, 1997 came and went. Nothing much happened. Michael Jackson turned 40. There was no Judgment Day. People went to work as they always do. Laughed, complained, watched TV, made love. I wanted to run through the street yelling, to grab them all and say, every day from this day on is a gift. Use it well. Instead, I got drunk. That was 30 years ago. But the dark future, which never came, still exists for me. And it always will, like the traces of a dream. John fights the war differently than it was foretold. Here, on the battlefield of the Senate, his weapons are common sense and hope.
Tie me, Grandma, tie me.
How's that?
Thank you, Grandma.
The luxury of hope was given to me by the Terminator. Because if a machine can learn the value of human life, maybe we can too.
The only secret left, will there be a Terminator 3?
Well, T3, that's a secret, of course. We can't talk about that.
About to run to the refrigerator? Sit tight. The next secret may change your mind. And how do islanders survive the terrifying trial by fire? Stay tuned.
The 1994 Camaro. What else would you expect from the country that invented rock and roll?
That smells good.
What's this?
For you.
How thoughtful. What else? I already have Taster's Choice.
You can't get too much of a good thing.
Savor the sophisticated taste of Taster's Choice.
I love these peaceful Sundays.
Hi, Mom.
Today, our most shocking case to date. During the week, Leonard Connor's a mild-mannered ad executive, but on weekends, he becomes Leonard Connor phone junkie. Friends, relatives, it doesn't matter who he calls as long as he's on the phone. His crime? Not taking advantage of Sprint's new offer to split the cost of calls all weekend long. Don't let this happen to you. Call now with 50% off. It's a crime to miss it.
Somebody put these Harvest Crisps in the wrong box.
Delicious.
Right, so what's a delicious cracker like that doing in a box that says low fat, no cholesterol?
Beats me.
I mean, if Harvest Crisps are so good for you, how come I can't stop eating them?
I don't know, hon.
I love them.
Quick, give him that cookie cereal.
It's not a cookie, it's a fat-free Newton.
Fat-free? I'm sure we can wait him out.
A cookie is just a cookie, but Newtons are fruit and cake.
Imagine a killer on the train, a plane down in icy water, a major earthquake. An hour of stories about people who made it through tragedies most of us can't even imagine. Survivors on a special edition of Primetime, Thursday.
In every story, there is a turning point. From ABC News, a new kind of storytelling. So dramatic, so alive, it feels like a movie. But it's real. From ABC News, Turning Point, premieres Wednesday, March 9th.
The next time you see all that mouth-watering food on television, look closely. There's a secret reason why the food you cook at home never looks as good as it does on TV. It's a secret that could make you lose your appetite. The food in this supermarket commercial was prepared by an expert called a food stylist. As you'll see, she's more of an artist than a chef.
We've discovered that in selecting lipsticks for strawberries that there are a couple of colors that seem to be most strawberry-like. One is called Certainly Red, and one of them is called British Redcoats. I'm going to replace this berry. It sort of has a bad top there.
Food stylist Carol Peterson can't doctor the product being sold, just the foods you see around it, such as a hamburger in a soft drink commercial. Since it can take all day to shoot a commercial, a spray of plastic sealant keeps the buns fresh and dry. Lettuce is easiest to work with when pinned in place. A cold meat patty brushed with oil will look hot, but won't wilt the lettuce. Next, the cheese is dipped in hot water to give that fresh off-the-grill look. The ketchup has been strained and drained, then applied with surgical precision.
And now it's ready for camera.
But this is just a taste of what food stylists secretly do to tantalize your taste buds. Pork chops look their best when they're undercooked, then singed with a backyard charcoal starter.
Let me see the size of the pat of butter.
And buttered corn on the cob looks hot and delicious thanks to a device sometimes used to relight water heaters.
And once it starts to run nicely, we pull the flame out and the camera rolls and you have a luscious piece of corn.
All right. Got it.
Okay.
Corn never looks so good.
Carol has secrets for every course, even dessert. Jell-O holds its shape indefinitely when you quadruple the amount of gelatin in the recipe. And here's the scoop on an ice cream sundae that is guaranteed to last all day.
It's actually a combination of Crisco and powdered sugar and Carol syrup.
The real challenge is making a roast turkey look like it's done to perfection, even if it's stone cold.
This turkey has been cooked about an hour instead of like 4 or 5 or 6 hours that you'd cook it if you wanted to get it done. But we just wanted to give it the beginning of a cooked feeling. And now I'm going to use a paint stripper to sort of cook some of the areas that are really not done at all.
How does Carol turn this cold turkey into a Norman Rockwell holiday centerpiece?
We have a glaze that we put on it that is actually a gravy browner that you might use at home in basting your turkey. So we put a little bit of that for the brown color. And then to make it a little more orangish, like a nice golden color, we put Angostura bitters. So we add a little of those. And because now there's a lot of fat sort of coming out of this turkey, to make it hold onto it better, we actually have to put a few drops of ivory soap, sort of like putting makeup on a turkey.
But there's still one problem.
Now that we have a perfectly painted turkey, we'll take a little cut right now. Oh, it's pink. But we have a solution for that. We will cook it the rest of the way with this drapery steamer. We just take it and put the hot steam inside, and in just a couple of minutes, that area will be cooked. Okay, now we can put the flap back up, and it's ready to go into the set.
So now that you know Carol's secret recipes, you may never look at a TV commercial the same way again. If the food looks hot, it's probably cold. If it looks cold, it's probably Crisco. And if it looks good enough to eat, it probably isn't. Tonight, we'll uncover a Stone Age secret so shocking it will have you reaching for your vitamins. Flintstones meet the Flintstones, or better yet, eat the Flintstones. There's Fred, of course, and his pal Barney, Fred's wife Wilma, and their daughter Pebbles, Bam Bam, and even Dino the dinosaur are here. But wait, there's no Betty vitamin.
Are you sure you haven't seen Betty, Fred?
Spy Magazine's Chip Rowe set out to solve the mysterious disappearance of his favorite cartoon mom.
I was drawn to Betty. I think as many in my generation were. Wilma just seemed too much like my mother, you know, kind of, they're making you pick up your toys. I mean, did you ever see Betty tell them to pick up their toys? Never.
Chip's investigation led to Miles Laboratories, the manufacturer of Flintstones vitamins. The folks at Miles stonewalled him, but Chip demanded an answer.
Once I got them on the phone, they weren't forthcoming. I had to kind of prod them a little. I mean, it's a touchy subject. The explanation I got was that she's too similar in shape to Wilma, and children like different shapes, so they substituted a car, the Flintmobile, for her.
Betty, replaced by the family car? In what looks like corporate caveman mentality, Betty was banished, a move colder than the Ice Age itself. Sorry, Betty.
You heard? Yes. Oh, you poor dear. Oh, Wilma, what am I going to do? I don't know.
Next, we'll answer the burning question, what's the secret of firewalking? And carnival games seem tough to beat until we reveal the winning secrets.
Hey! What? I don't think it's gonna fit the billboard.
It's gotta fit.
Presenting McDonald's double quarter pounder with cheese, with 2 juicy quarter pound patties of beef.
Okay, it fits.
Where are you gonna put the fries and the Coke?
The what?
With large golden fries and a medium Coke, it's our new double quarter pounder with cheese extra value meal.
Okay, fit.
Now where are you gonna put the arches?
The what?
What you want is what you get.
The double quarter pounder with cheese extra value meal.
At McDonald's today.
In designing the new Neon, we took some advice from Mom. When you go outside to play, put on a heavy coat. Well, Neon wears 6 coats. One is up to 5 times as heavy as a normal coat. And its top coat is so durable, it should look like new for years. 6 coats. Oh yeah, and a muffler. Say hello to Neon. $89.75 for starters, $12.5, nicely loaded.
It's a tear-free shampoo and detangling conditioner in one. Pert Plus for kids.
They don't cry.
No tears in the bath.
Big girls.
And no tears after, because it's tougher on tangles than the leading tear-free shampoo.
Big girls don't cry.
Tear-free Pert Plus for kids. Easy on eyes, tough on tangles. Loved by kids.
Good evening, I'm Bob Opsahl.
I'm Marla Weech. In the news, a shocking new twist in the aftermath of a roadside murder. The pregnant wife of the victim tries to commit suicide. We'll have a live report.
We'll take a look at donations for local charities. How much really winds up helping the people who need it?
Plus, tonight's figure skating competition through the eyes of Central Floridians.
More next.
Ever lose a week's salary at the carnival trying to win a stuffed animal worth $1.50? Well, here are a few secrets that could save you a fistful of quarters. There are a lot of ways to test your luck and skill at a carnival. The massive Midway at Las Vegas's Circus Circus features all the top games and awards millions in prizes each year. But how do you know which games are easiest to win? Midway manager Sandy Adler tells the secret.
In all of our games, we have all of the prizes displayed on the side walls and on the back walls. When you walk by here, you see only one prize. And it's pretty evident that it's big and has a lot of value. And so it's obvious that the game is relatively difficult if you can win this size prize for $1.
The likelihood of winning the big prize with $1 is very slim. The real secret to winning is finding games that have small prizes and allow you to trade up to bigger ones. If a carnival gives you a tip on how to play, take advantage of it. It's usually right. But watch out. Some games are deceptively simple. Here at Unball, throwing hard is not the way to go. Nice and easy does the trick. There's one secret you should be aware of here. The hoop is slightly smaller than regulation size. Here's a tip that can save you a pocket full of dimes.
Basically what you want to do is toss the dime with a little bit of a backward spin on it and some arc onto the plate. Towards the back of the plate is best.
Most of these games look easy enough for a 5-year-old child. So if you really want to win, bring along a 5-year-old child. Some of the world's oldest secrets can be revealed by modern science. Take, for instance, the ancient South Seas ritual of firewalking. "200 years ago, Captain James Cook became the first Westerner to report this island ritual. In this age-old ceremony, the fire must heat the rocks for over 5 hours before the Fijians can begin their walk. The ritual is described by the Fijian Cultural Authority, Manoa Rasangali, leader of the troop.
For 2 weeks before the event, the participants segregate themselves from all females and have no contact with them whatsoever. Failure to observe this taboo renders the culprit to severe burns.
The command Bala Bala brings out the trunk of the Wanka Bala Bala tree, which the Fijians believe is home to hundreds of protective elf spirits. When the fire is ready, the priest, Giutasa Tikna, a direct descendant of the first Fijian firewalker, puts our thermometer on one of the rocks. For these men of the Suwa tribe of the Fijian island of Benua, firewalking is a traditional test of bravery, which will ensure good luck and a bountiful harvest. In less than 60 seconds, our thermometer registers over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Just before stepping on the hot stones, the firewalkers surround the fire with leaves of the how plant, then brush the embers off the rocks. In case you think the leaves are wet, they aren't. Nor do they have any pain-killing properties. There's nothing on these rocks to protect the firewalkers' feet from the intense heat. How intense? Unfortunately, our thermometer didn't survive long enough for us to find out.
The laying of the fern stalk follows.
After a few minutes, our thermometer goes up in flames. The chief steps onto the fern trunk, letting the elf's spirits know it's time to jump off the trunk onto the hot rocks.
The firewalkers believe that when they are walking over the stones, they are actually walking on the backs of hundreds of elf spirits who have the power to consume heat.
We took one of the rocks from the Fijian ritual to a scientist who has walked across hot coals himself. He is fusion specialist Dr. Bernard Lycan.
I study high temperatures, very high temperatures.
And how is Dr. Lycan going to explain firewalking?
I'm going to bake a cake. Everything in the oven is at 375 degrees. The air, the cake, and the pan. Yet, when I open the door of the oven, I don't worry about the air burning me. I don't worry about the cake burning me. But I have to use these gloves when I take the pan out. Why doesn't the cake burn me? It's light and fluffy. It doesn't do a good job of conducting heat into my hands.
The cake and this lava rock have one remarkable similarity. They're both extremely porous, filled with small holes. To prove his theory, Dr. Lycan put an intense flame under our Fijian lava rock.
This rock is fluffy, a little like my cake, filled with gas. It's not good at conducting heat.
Here's the proof. After 30 minutes of heating, our laboratory thermometer measures the underside of this rock at over 700 degrees Celsius, or about 1,300 degrees Fahrenheit. But look, the top is reading only 68 degrees Celsius, or 154 degrees Fahrenheit.
I can't leave my finger on for too long. This is probably similar to the length of time that the firewalkers have their feet on the rock. But of course, their feet are much tougher than my fingertips.
So now you understand the secret behind one of the world's most exotic rituals. Tonight we've revealed lots of secret information that people don't want you to know. But there are many more secrets out there to be revealed. Everyone has a secret. What's yours? I'm Bill Devane. Good night.
Travel provided by Continental, which proudly offers the comfort and service of international first class at business class fare. Continental's Business First to Europe.
I'm Ted Koppel. Later on Nightline, the nuclear test was carefully planned, but the fallout, the damage, the death, the government called those unforeseeable. They lied. Tonight.
This is Joan London.
And Charles Gibson. Tomorrow, what will happen when the Chinese take back Hong Kong?
Also meet Hong Kong's beautiful people and see how they make those kung fu movies.
On Good Morning America from Hong Kong tomorrow.
The American Broadcasting Company, ABC.
When you're real hungry, the only thing better than Sonny's Real Pit Barbecue, I'm real hungry, is Sonny's all-you-can-eat barbecue pork. With all the coleslaw and all the French fries and all the garlic bread, and of course, all the slow-cooked, thin-sliced barbecue pork you want.
All I want?
Just come hungry. At prices like these, you can't afford to eat anyplace else. Yummy.
The Olympic Games feature our nation's best. Now, your Jeep and Eagle dealers are featuring theirs during the Jeep and Eagle National Drive for the Gold sale. Buy or lease Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo at special savings. Buy or lease Eagle Vision. Get $300 cash back on Jeep Wrangler and great values on Cherokee Sport. So drive for the gold at your dealer now and drive away a winner.
See your Florida Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Hey now, I see something different here. And the wild things do too.
Where wild things go. Exploring my own way. Adventure high and low. Fearsome and fun. Every step you take is new. Never before have you gone where wild things go. Where wild things go.
Where wild things go. Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay, and no place else.
WFTV Orlando. Live from Channel 9, Central Florida's news leader. Bob Opsahl, Marla Weech, Danny Trainer's weather, and Pat Clark with sports. This is Eyewitness News Tonight.
The showdown in Lillehammer. Tonya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan finally face off.
Good evening. We'll show you what Central Floridians saw as they skated against each other. But first, our top story of the night. The pregnant wife of a murder victim has apparently tried to kill herself.
She's the widow of the man who was shot and killed on State Road 520 Sunday night. Channel 9's Kathy Bellich joins us now live from Florida Hospital with details. Kathy?
But Bob and Marla, Karen Newell was brought here to the emergency room at Florida Hospital for treatment after an apparent suicide attempt. Her husband was shot and killed Sunday evening. She was with him then. Tonight, our top story, deputies quote her as saying she wanted to be with him again. Karen Newell was wheeled out of her house by paramedics on a stretcher and was taken to the hospital. The ambulance had rushed to her home but left at normal speed. She told paramedics she had overdosed on a prescription painkiller.
So the statement she made to her roommate was that she wanted to be with her husband. And from what she told the fire department who responded here to treat her, she took 20 Darvocet. Currently she's stable. She's on her way to Florida South Hospital. And from there, she'll probably be what we call Baker acted, which means she'll be put into probably lakeside alternatives for an involuntary examination.
Her roommate, Peter Giffen, told deputies she has been distraught ever since her husband's death. Giffen followed behind the ambulance in her late husband's car. She had told deputies she and her husband had pulled off of State Road 520 on Sunday evening to investigate a strange noise their car was making. She says her husband, who was an auto mechanic, looked on as she crawled under the car to check out the problem. She says 3 suspects pulled up behind them and shot her husband, then left. Newell is pregnant. An overdose of the painkiller Darvocet could cause liver damage and could cause respiratory problems for a fetus. What kind of condition was she in here tonight?
Crying, obviously upset, but stable medically. It wasn't life-threatening.
Now, Florida Hospital says it cannot comment in cases of possible suicide attempt or drug overdose. Meantime, Orange County detectives are working long hours to try to find out just who killed 31-year-old John Newell. Reporting live in Orlando, Kathy Bellich, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
All right, thank you, Kathy. A St. Cloud man who surprised a burglar in his home tonight is in serious condition after being stabbed. Miguel Gelvez came home around 7:30 and found a man inside. The burglar stabbed Gelvez in the stomach and then took his keys and stole his car. Gelvez crawled outside and screamed for help. Officials are now searching for the wounded man's red Honda Accord. The penalty phase of the Danny Rolling serial murder trial may be moved out of Gainesville. After 6 days of jury selection, there is now a pool of 117 potential jurors. Rolling's attorney, though, says all of them have heard of the case, and most of them had firm opinions about it. The jury's only job will be to recommend a sentence for Rolling, who has already pleaded guilty to murdering 5 Gainesville college students.
Seminole County officials are hoping that a sketch of a rape suspect who struck last weekend will jog someone's memory. The rapist is white, 5'9", about 140 pounds. He has long blonde hair and pockmarks on his face. His victim says the man grabbed her in the parking lot of a Fern Park nightclub, forced her into some nearby woods, and raped her. Orange County lawmen are still looking for a serial rapist who last struck 10 days ago. He's suspected of at least 8 rapes. Today, police told West Orlando apartment managers to post sketches of the suspect and to tell residents to be careful. The rapist usually reaches his victims through unlocked doors and windows.
Orlando Mayor Glenda Hood led a delegation to Tallahassee today, telling lawmakers up there it's time to get tough on juvenile crime and repeat offenders. Mayors, police chiefs, and county sheriffs from all over the state joined Hood to lobby for changes. Among other things, the group wants a get tough approach on juvenile crime, plus 3,000 new beds in juvenile detention facilities, along with 25,000 more prison beds.
Chaos at an Eatonville daycare center late this afternoon when youngsters accidentally set off a mace-like spray. It happened at the Christian Daycare Center on Washington Street. A curious child grabbed her teacher's keychain, which happened to be attached to the chemical spray.
A number of kids, about 6, that had been affected by some kind of defensive spray. They were coughing, and some of them had redness about their face.
2 students and a teacher were taken by ambulance to Florida South Hospital. They were treated and released.
Now back to the Olympics. Just about the entire nation was glued to their television sets tonight as Tonya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan